They're back outside, louder this time. I was halfway through paying the gas bill when the first knock came. I thought it was my neighbor, Mrs. Patel, dropping off one of her endless plates of food. Rent's late again, car needs a new timing belt, and my boss at the hardware store cut my hours last week, so I've been spending nights balancing what little I have. I'm 34, single, still living in the same one-bedroom apartment I grew up in, the one my dad left me when he passed. The walls smell faintly of damp plaster and cigarette smoke he never managed to quit. My left knee pops when I climb stairs from a bike accident in high school, and every winter, the ache keeps me up at night. I've never liked the dark, not in a childish way, more in a gut-level, skin-prickling way. I keep the curtains drawn and the porch light on after sunset, but tonight, that light feels like it's painting a target on me. The voices started maybe an hour ago, soft at first, like someone talking down the block. The kind of low hum you notice only when the TV goes quiet. Then, closer, clearer, my name, spoken in a voice that didn't belong to anyone I know. Not just once, over and over with the exact same tone, like someone pressing replay on a recording. Between each call, there's a wet smacking sound. It makes my teeth hurt. I told myself not to respond. You hear about things, people disappearing after going out to check. I don't know if it's kids playing some sick game or something worse, but the rhythm is wrong. No footsteps between calls, no shuffling. Just my name, the pause, and that sound. A few minutes ago, I saw movement at the edge of the light. Tall, thin. The street lamp caught the outline of a head that didn't tilt quite right. It just stood there, like it was listening. Now the gas bill is still open on the table, my pen resting on it, and every instinct is telling me to stay perfectly still. But the knocking started again. 3 slow, deliberate taps on my front door, and then, in my own voice, from the other side, "It's okay. You can open it now." My throat went dry, like every drop of spit had evaporated. I backed away from the door, slow as I could, keeping my eyes locked on the shadow stretching under it. It wasn't shaped right, too thin, and it twitched every few seconds like something was jerking it from the other side. The heater kicked on, a deep metallic groan from the vents, and I flinched hard enough to knock my knee against the table. The pain flared and I clapped a hand over my mouth. My phone was still charging by the bed, but if I went for it, I'd have to pass the window facing the porch. The voice came again, my voice, but it was closer to the floor this time, like it was crouching. "It's cold out here. Don't make me wait." There was a scrape, like nails dragging across the wood. Not long, human nails. Sharper, uneven, catching in the grain. My dad's old pocket knife was in the drawer by the sink. I shuffled toward it, every board under my feet feeling like it might scream out. The knife felt tiny in my hand, useless against whatever was outside. The tapping stopped. Silence, long enough for my ears to start ringing. Then, 3 knocks from the back door. The knocks from the back door froze me in place. My apartment isn't big. 2 doors, front and back, and the back one opens into a narrow alley no one ever uses. I've never even given that address out for deliveries. The only way to get there is to walk between the buildings, where the light barely reaches. I held my breath, listening for footsteps between the 2 doors. Nothing. Just the faint hiss of the heater and the occasional crackle from the baseboard, like the walls themselves were listening. A sudden thought cut through the fear. The deadbolt on the back door sticks. Always has. You have to shove your shoulder into it just right to get it to open. If something tried to come through, I'd hear the struggle. But then I heard it. Metal flexing, a creak like someone leaning their full weight against the door. A long pause, and then my mother's voice, soft, trembling. "Sweetheart, it's me. Please, open up." I haven't spoken to my mom in 4 years. She lives 3 states away. I know that voice, though. The way she drops the last syllable of a word, the tiny whistle in her breath when she's been crying. I tightened my grip on the knife, the handle slick with sweat. My brain told me it was impossible, but something deeper, a stupid, aching part of me, wanted to believe it. That's the part I hate about myself. I still want to fix things that can't be fixed. The alley light outside flickered, then went dark. Her voice came again, closer to the crack between door and frame. "Please, baby, I'm cold." I backed into the kitchen, the linoleum sticking slightly under my socks. My phone was still in the bedroom. I needed it, needed to call someone, anyone. But the bedroom door was half open, and the thin slice of darkness beyond looked wrong, too still, like the shadows were holding their breath. From the bedroom, in my own voice again, "It's okay. You can open it now." I didn't move. My fingers were clamped so tight around the knife that my knuckles ached. The air in the apartment felt heavy now, like I was breathing through a wet towel. Every instinct screamed to grab the phone, but crossing that bedroom threshold felt like stepping into an open grave. Something shifted inside, soft, deliberate, like a foot dragging on carpet. I'd left the lights on earlier, but the glow spilling into the hallway was dimmer now, tinted in a sickly yellow, like the bulb was dying. Then I heard the scrape again. That same sharp, uneven sound I'd heard at the front door. Only now, it was coming from the floor of my bedroom, as if something was lying flat and clawing its way toward the hall. The back door rattled once, twice, then went still. Silence, and then, faint but clear, 2 voices at once, my mother's and mine overlapping perfectly. "Come here." I backed toward the front door, calculating if I could make it to the street before they caught me. My knee throbbed with each step, reminding me it wouldn't be a clean run. Halfway there, the heater shut off, plunging the place into a silence so complete I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. Then, from right behind me, closer than a whisper, my dad's voice. "You left the door unlocked." I spun around so fast my vision blurred, but there was no one there. Just the faint outline of my own shadow stretching up the wall from the porch light outside. My dad's voice hadn't echoed. It had been right at my ear, warm enough to fog the tiny hairs on my neck. The knife shook in my hand. My heartbeat was loud, erratic, like it was trying to warn me of something I couldn't see yet. I edged backward toward the couch, scanning every corner, every doorway. My knee screamed with each step, but I didn't dare stop. From the kitchen, something metallic clattered onto the floor. I flinched and ducked low, peering over the arm of the couch. My father's old pocket knife, still in its leather sheath, sat in the middle of the linoleum. I hadn't touched it in years. It had been in the junk drawer since he died. Then the sound started again, from the bedroom. Slow dragging, nails catching on carpet fibers. Only now, there was a second sound layered under it, like someone breathing through a clogged drain. It got louder, wetter, until I could almost feel the moisture in the air. The back door creaked open. I know that sound. It's the deadbolt giving way, the hinges straining, but there was no slam, no rush of cold night air, just a long pause and a soft thud, like something lowering itself onto the floor. I inched toward the front door, my socks whispering against the rug. When I reached the lock, I froze. The metal was warm to the touch, too warm, as if someone had been pressing their palm against it from the outside. Then the voices came again, all at once. My mother's, my father's, mine, layered into one distorted chorus that rattled the windows. "If you hear us, you have to answer." Every light in the apartment flickered, then dimmed to nothing. In the pitch black, something brushed my ankle. Thin, dry fingers curling just enough to let me know they could grab if they wanted to. I kicked backward, hard, but my foot hit nothing. just empty air. Still, I could feel the print of those fingers on my skin, the ghost of their grip crawling up my leg. My breathing turned ragged, loud in the darkness, and I hated how it made me sound like prey. A faint glow bloomed from the hallway. Not the steady white of a bulb, but a pulsing orange, like embers breathing in and out. It came from the bedroom, and with each pulse, the shadows on the walls twisted, forming shapes that almost looked human, but not quite. Too long, too bent in the wrong places. The chorus started again, softer now, coaxing. Come here, come here, come here. My name woven in, sweet and patient, like they had all the time in the world. My throat tightened. I thought about the last time I'd seen my mom in person, the way she wouldn't look me in the eye, the words we left unsaid, about my dad's last voicemail, still saved on my phone, telling me to lock the doors at night. I thought about how badly I wanted to hear them again, and how whatever was in that bedroom knew it. I lunged for the front door, yanking the deadbolt, twisting the handle. It wouldn't turn. The metal burned against my palm now, like it had been sitting in an oven. Behind me, the dragging grew faster, closer. The wet breathing turned into something almost like laughter, short bursts, choking on their own spit. The pulsing light filled the living room now, painting everything in that ember glow. My own shadow peeled off the wall and stepped toward me, its movements jagged, unnatural. When it opened its mouth, it was my voice that came out. You should have answered. The floor seemed to tilt forward, pulling me toward it, toward them. I clawed at the frame of the door, but my fingers slipped on the hot metal. The last thing I saw before the glow swallowed everything was the shape in the hallway stretching impossibly tall, its head almost grazing the ceiling. Then darkness. No sound, no heat, just the soft knock on the inside of the door, right beside my ear. If you're still listening, lock your doors. Don't answer voices you know. And if you hear your own voice outside, you've already waited too long. This is Dark Whispers. Subscribe now, and I'll tell you more stories that might just save your life, or at least what's left of it.